The Open Public Meetings Act, notice of 2022 meeting dates was published in the Easton Express Times and the Hunterdon Democrat on February 17th, 2022, and posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall. Action may now be taken. Please join me for the flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Barry.
Here.
Graham. Here. Hughes.
Here.
Schwartz.
Here.
Sylvester. Here. Strain.
Here.
And Lee.
Here. Motion to dispense with the reading of the June 9th, 2022 regular minutes.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Strain.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Motion to approve the June 9th, 2022 regular minutes.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
Strain.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Public comments. It is the policy of the Borough Council that all public comments on an issue shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments may be made on any subject pertaining to borough issues. Comments pertaining to a public hearing should be saved for that section of the agenda. Each person may speak once during the public comment section. No debating between residents. Comments should be addressed to mayor and council at the public microphone.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Gordon Marks. I live at 11 Hillcrest Lane for over 30 years now, and today I came to you to speak on behalf of the golf committee to which I am chairman. It's really important of you all. I know that Chris has been doing a job trying to echo the views and thoughts of the committee. However, I thought it was necessary at this time to really get up and let you know what we're really concerned about. First of all, for some of you, hopefully all of you, we've been in need of a sewage grinder and septic since that was open in February. It's still not there. Right now, our bathrooms are limited or closed to the public. And you can imagine if you've been to a public place and there are no bathrooms inside or running water, you had to use an outside facility. You can get toilets and a wash station, but it's not the expectation in one day to play golf. We're trying to move on that, but it's been difficult and slow. The second thing is the barn. I think you're all aware of the barn. It is viewed from our last meeting that it's a waste of money to spend $100,000 to house cars. We'd like to see the council and the mayor reopen the idea of building a paving facility and finding a leasee or leasees to offset that cost over a number of years, depending on the bond. And speaking about that, we feel it could be downsized significantly, probably by 25 to 30%. We don't need to do everything at once. In addition, not just the leasee, but also you have to remember that Indigo has which is our plant management facility, has the capability of managing a facility like that if you find a leasee and they drop out for whatever reason. Indigo has a great deal of experience with catering and parties and facilities over the years, and you can see through their many persons. Also, you have to look at what's going on around us. The other places in the area all offer catering facilities and have done significant improvements to the courses with that profitability. Again, we'd like you to reconsider the barn redevelopment and the redevelopment plan that's approved by the planning board. We think it's the most viable way to go. Even though there's cost to building mechanics area and a car storage area, it's certainly much more prudent to considering how can we upgrade this facility through return on investment. And I would remind you all that the golf course is the only property the borough has that has a monetary return on investment. We have other great properties, but they don't definitely provide a direct monetary return on investment. Finally, I'd like
That's the 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We do have another section.
You can come up to the second portion of public comments if you want.
If there are any questions for me, I'd be happy to discuss presenting to you individually or as a group. Just to give you my contact information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Sally Ward from Solitude Village. I love what you just said. I think it's a great idea. And I've actually dreamt about that barn in reference to my having been in school down in East Tennessee in 1970-something, whatever, long time ago. And on the weekends, there was a facility that everybody went to because it was a place to let off steam and enjoy. And the people who ran it made a fortune off of us, believe me. So I just think it's a wonderful idea, you know, to re-examine and look at with a clear slate and recognize that, yeah, we can bring in some traffic. We can do that. And that he's here saying that, I just love that. Thank you. Very nice. So, it's good.
Public comments? Public hearings, ordinance 2022-028, purchase of fire department Chevrolet Tahoe. Motion to open the public hearing.
Move.
Roll call.
Graham. Yes. Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Steve, Councilman Strange.
So, yeah, this is simply I mean, there is a Tahoe now. It is, I don't remember the exact year on it, but it's a kind of scheduled replacement, basically, is the idea. I want to say it's a 2004 or 5. I mean, this would be a replacement, not an addition to their, I don't know what they're gonna do with the old one. I guess they'd sell it. I would assume. I don't know the exact procedure, but this would be. I think also a portion of it is paid for by money that they raised. But anyway, and not all of it.
Anybody else? Questions, thoughts, public? Motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2022-028.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri. Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance 2022-028.
Move.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri. Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Ordinance 2022-029, purchase of truck body 1. Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri. Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Councilman Silvestri, you want to give us an update?
Yeah, sure. So this is a utility body for a recently or almost purchased pickup truck. To convert it from a standard bed into a working truck. We have bins and containers and stuff that might carry their tools and equipment out around our borough.
Anything else? Okay. Motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2022-029.
Move.
Second. Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Motion to adopt ordinance 2022-029.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Ordinance 2022-030, purchase of truck body 2. Motion to open the public hearing.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange.
Yes.
And Fair.
Yes. Steve?
Yep, so we have a international dump truck now where the body is rotted out on, and this would be a replacement body for that vehicle. I believe it's an aluminum body, so we should get a very long time out of this body, so it would be a wise purchase.
And this will be going on the chassis we already have.
Correct.
Yes.
Anybody else? Motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2022-030.
Second?
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2022-030.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-031, Solitude House Improvements.
Move.
Second.
Oh, sorry, motion to open the public hearing.
Graham,
Second. Sorry. Yes.
Roll call.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Natalie, can
Okay.
you-
Yep, this is the $10,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund for Solitude House for the side porch that's being repaired.
We have a grant for that too, right?
Yeah, and that's an addition to
Okay.
that, yeah.
Anybody else? Thoughts, questions? Motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2022-031.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2022-031.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Written communications.
We have a certificate of determination of award, the monthly tax and finance reports, relief measures for residential utility customers letter in English and Spanish, and a resident letter.
On to the consent agenda. Resolution 153 through resolution 160. Anybody want to take anything out? Okay, motion to approve the consent agenda, resolution 153 through 160.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Introduction of ordinances. Ordinance 2022-032, police vehicle. Motion to introduce.
Move?
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-032 shall be published in the Express Times and or the Hunterdon County Democrat, along with the public hearing date of July 21st, 2022. Ordinance 2022-033, amend chapter 145, amend area, yard, and building requirements with chart. Motion to introduce.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Graham,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Ferry.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-033 shall be published in the Express Times and or the Hunterdon County Democrat, along with the public hearing date of July 21st, 2022. Okay, council committee reports. Councilman Graham.
I'll do the finance first. There's a handful of things. A note sale was held this month for the bond anticipation notes maturing on June 16th, which totaled $2,111,975. 3 bids were received. The winning bid went to BNY Mellon with a net interest cost of 2.28%. $254,625 of existing debt was paid down. And additional funding was borrowed for the River Road Phase 2 and then 2 new water main projects for a total of $551,000. New tax bills are scheduled to be mailed by the middle of July. And payment plans are still available for the unpaid utility bills that were during the moratorium. If you contact your utility collector for details, that will be more than adequate. The next thing would be our golf committee. We had a meeting on June 20th. There are a handful of priorities. One of them is the capital project, which the sewage pump bids that Gordon alluded to. The bids will be accepted hopefully by mid-July. Right now there's 2 and a third is pending. So that's exciting, and the more bids you get, obviously, the more opportunities you have to get a good price, and also the attention paid to it that it deserves. There's sand trap repair that we've been talking about. We also have to have a site visit confirmed by the middle of July for that. A lot of these projects are for next year, but we're talking about them this year. And the mower's being ordered for 2023 delivery, which I've talked about in the past. Jay was looking into buying equipment that's coming off of leases, so that would be less expensive than buying them brand new. There's a guardrail repair, which I've alluded to on holes 8 and 16. Probably the fall, but at least that's moving forward, so that's exciting too. There's an irrigation pump, which we're looking to improve the efficiency, essentially, of the irrigation pumps. May was not great with the weather, but June is much better. And so my next committee report should be exceptionally good as far as the finances in that respect. There are several upcoming events. One of them that I've said many times is near to my heart is the Sakula Invitational, June 27th. It's the 20th time this is happening, 20th annual funding event, so that's very good. There's a U.S. Amateurs Tour, which is July 10th, for a nationwide tour for amateur players of the New Jersey PGA Tour, which is July 26th. And there's a resident golf days will be announced on hybridhills.com, but it looks like it's going to be September 23rd, that's a Friday. So that's exciting as well. And there is a completed project which was the arm mower project, which they're trimming back a lot of the holes, which now you can see much better. You see it right away as you come out of hole 18, I think hole 9, I'm sorry, where you can see the water now. A lot of people have already said this is wonderful that you can see a lot more of the course now because a lot of the brush has been cut back. So there's a full slate of events is already booked for 2022, and it's from regional leagues to national tour stops. So it's very exciting the level of action that the course is getting. So that was pretty much it. Thank you.
The Preservation Subcommittee continues contact with Eclectic Architecture, the firm planning the reconstruction of the Solitude West Side Porch. Committee met with the Borough Administrator and Architect on June 2nd to review the bid package and architectural drawings. The bid ran in the paper on 6/4, and we're looking to award the project by 7/21 and begin construction in August and complete by October. We'd like to once again thank the DPW for all the time and effort they put into helping us ensure the Solitude property looks beautiful. Lawn maintenance of the property is detailed and time consuming, so we are incredibly grateful for their work. We appreciate the most recent trimming and maintenance of the hedges and the pothole patches completed on the Solitude driveway. Thank you, DPW, for all of your work and support. The Solitude House and grounds continue to be available to host murder mystery parties. We are also pleased to be able to join forces with local restaurants Juniper Hill, Circa, Hilltop Deli for catering. Parties are now open for August through November. If you're interested in hosting a party, please visit our Facebook page, Highbridge History, or email us at history@highbridge.org for more information. The committee's new retail items designed to aid with our fundraising efforts continue on sale on the Borough website. We'll also be at the July 2nd concert in the Commons if you're interested in any of our new Alien t-shirts, which are pretty cool. The committee held its first Tisco open market on May 28th. We'll be having another one this Saturday, June 25th, on the Tisco grounds behind the Huskies ball field. And we still have open spaces, $25 per space. Proceeds go directly to the renovations of the borough's historic properties, so please email history@highbridge.org if you're interested in being a vendor at the market. Committee members continue cleaning, painting, remodeling the second floor of Solitude House in preparation for the reveal and tour at our second annual jazz brunch on July 31st from 11 to 2. We received several emails from community members looking to help, so we thank all who are interested and grateful to those who have already been at Solitude to assist with the restoration process. Anyone interested in volunteering for a restoration project, please email us at history@highbridge.org, and we'll also have our ticket sale information up soon for that event. The Solitude House first floor and exterior grounds are available for event rentals. Again, please email us at history@highbridge.org for more info. And the Historical Committee hosted its first Father's Day barbecue open house this past June 19th, and this event was free to the public and highly attended with over 100 guests. We offer a very big thank you to ShopRite in Clinton for donating the hamburgers, hot dogs, cheese, and rolls for this event, and we have a big thank you for Councilman Chris Graham for doing all of the grilling.
Just like the old days.
And thank you to all who attended, and we look forward to having this be an annual event. And that's all.
Councilman Schwartz.
Okay, before I start my education report, I do have a couple of questions for Chris Graham about his financial report.
Chris, I noticed you didn't mention that there was a financial committee meeting on June 6th, but you did have one, right?
Correct.
Okay. And it's my understanding that the committee reviewed the Phoenix assessment and Bonnie's assessment of Chapter 48 costs, and that you agreed that they were appropriate cost projections from those
It
two
was
sources.
essentially the reassessing the same, nothing new was really, was gathered there. They were just reaffirming what they had already agreed was true.
Now, Michelle asked me to send the committee some information with regards to Chapter 48, the information I put together. Did you have a chance to review that at the meeting?
No.
Well, we did. We used some of those points. Bonnie and I both brought up some of those points.
Oh, that is true, you're right. That is absolutely accurate, yes. Sorry, I apologize.
And that email was also shared with the professionals.
Okay. Did you discuss that the potential total additional cost of Chapter 48 benefits for 7 of full-time employees is between $3 and $6 million?
Michelle, if you were gonna answer that, that's fine, but we were, again, we just reaffirmed what we had already agreed was the number that we essentially voted on. So the information that you are talking about, the information that you wanted to include, we explored it, and I appreciate the fact that you were not there, so that was difficult for you to defend or at least witness that.
Right.
I understand. But we essentially, I would not say that we introduced anything that was not already introduced before.
And I wasn't trying to say you did. I was just wondering if you took a look at the information to decide actually how much Chapter 48 is going to cost.
Well, they had told us that there's
While
no
all
way
that
we
is
could say
speculative at
exactly.
best, yes.
Well, so you didn't determine the range of costs for Chapter 48 before agreeing that it was?
We had
we
the
did.
range that we had on the papers that we all received, but
From the professionals.
from the professionals, and
What was
just-
that range?
Just to say too, those professionals, one was from Phoenix and the other one is from Sipley, Cooney and their company, and just their background. They're CFOs, they're financial consultants, they taught financial management at Rutgers, certified municipal finance officer since 1989, one of them. Another one holds retirement management advisor and certified municipal finance officer designations. He's a manager at Sipley. So these people know what they're talking about.
I understand that. My question wasn't trying to ask about their qualifications. I just asked if the committee determined how much this is going to cost the borough.
And our
We have
professionals
projections, yes.
gave us projections, but could not give us anything
This
exact.
isn't really on the agenda though, Barry.
But it
Is
is
this
about
appropriate?
his committee report. And I actually asked to discuss this in open session. And this is the
You've
perfect
been
time.
just trying to put your points for almost 9 months, and you seem to not want to agree with the professionals, which is okay. But like I said, we have voted on this matter. So,
I don't believe we've actually seen a number, how much this is going to cost to the
you've
borough.
received
No, well, how much is it going to cost? Well, Chris, I would request that
How much is it gonna
perhaps at
cost
the
this
next,
year?
perhaps
That
at
is
the
a speculation at best, no matter what the number that we project for. But the speculation he talked about was, it would be somewhere in the means of $28 for each resident, something of that nature.
Can you, Bonnie, speak
Per year?
to that? It's
Well, yeah,
less
Bonnie,
than
do-
one
do-
tax
do-
point.
do Speak the language, as they say.
Yeah,
If somebody retires.
one
So
cent,
this
one
year,
cent to
it's nobody.
taxpayers.
No,
Well, this year, the projected cost,
I'm not asking about
Barry.
tax dollars. I'm talking about how much it costs. I asked how much this is going to cost the borough.
That's the cost.
At the,
You can roll your eyes, but that's the cost.
$28 a year.
Per household?
Mayor, in response to
Yeah.
your question, I mean, procedurally, historically, if a council person has questions of another council person about a report, it's done right after the report. And due respect to, Alan, I don't know if that issue's come up during the time he's on the council. So, my suggestion is to give him a little bit of latitude. I know this is an important question for him. I know we've gone over it in various, forms in the past, but you know, just for procedurally, it's better to ask these types of questions right after somebody's report, but Alan, I'm not chastising you, because as I said, I don't think this has ever come up while you were on the council.
I thought about asking those questions right after Chris's report, but it's during the same time frame. It's during the same section of the agenda.
Yeah, that's why
It's during
I'm
my
suggesting
section where
for
I
May
get to
that
talk.
you be allowed to continue, yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Can I defer to Bonnie only because she speaks the language much better than I, this is certainly, but in any case,
So in terms of the cost, we looked at the report again, and the amount that it would be based on, you know, anywhere from 1 to 1.5, 2 cents over the next 10 years, and what that value would be to the taxpayer. A point being $28 approximately.
Over the $20 per year, or over the whole time, or,
Per year,
oh, per year, okay. So what, is that per household or
per
per?
average household.
Per house, would it be 1,500 households?
Mhm.
Something like that? So that's what, about 46,000 a year? Something like that, 45,000?
Yeah.
Well, we figured about, the range is different per year.
Well, but I'm
It
just saying,
depends-
I mean, just
it
as a
depends
number,
on-
28 bucks a household, there's about 1,500 households, it should be around.
Yeah.
It
It
around
depends on
40
when someone retires.
Well, you know, of course.
So you don't know that until someone retires.
But if you look at when they possibly could retire, you get a range. A high range and a low range. And that's what we should be looking at. And that's what we should be looking at the finance
Which we
committee.
have,
And they did say if we used the 2021 numbers, it would have been 34,000 seats.
Once again, I'm just
Yeah.
adding in my head, 28 bucks a household is
Right.
about 46,000 bucks or something like that, about approximately. About somewhere around there.
Okay, onto your education report.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, I attended the school board meetings virtually on June 6th and June 13th, and I attended the 8th grade graduation on Friday, June 17th. The graduation was truly it was really a nice event. I do want to say congratulations to all of our graduating 8th graders. I was impressed by the speeches that they had given. They were well thought out and presented very well. I know that all the 8th grade graduates will make their parents proud and will admirably represent the town of High Ridge when they attend high school in the fall, whether it's Voorhees or North. Again, congrats. What's that?
Hopefully for it.
Again, congratulations, and I want to say that the school board, the administration, the staff, and the PTO really did a good job with the graduation. Good job. I also want to notify our public that there's still an open school board position. Any adult resident of High Ridge who is interested in the position and is interested in helping our schools and our community, please contact the school board secretary, or the business administrator at 908-638-6552, or email the school board office. And that is my education.
Councilman Silvestri.
Yeah, the DPW in the last month, this week concludes their brush week pickup. They've installed about 30 water meters. They've been chipping brush, trimming trees, installed 16 tons of blacktop to fill potholes around the borough. They've been doing their checking for water main breaks and repaired a service line on Indian Springs. There was a concern about a fire hydrant next to the middle school. They went to repair that the other day. They realized what parts they need. They ordered the parts, and hopefully that will be repaired very shortly. That's the hydrant next to the middle school. They were cleaning out storm drains and basic maintenance around the borough. On the engineering side, we met with New Jersey Transit to discuss Gregor Road. And that's in the design stage. That should be out soon, and I guess repairs are gonna start next summer. If you have any problems, New Jersey Transit is maintaining that bridge. Till then, So if you have any problems, just call their New Jersey Transit customer service line at 973-275-5555, and they can help you with any assistance there. Tonight we awarded 2 contracts for the Buttonville Well project and the water main improvements near the middle school. So that's a pretty exciting 2 projects that will be completed in a short amount of time. And we also appointed 2 temporary summer help for the DPW, and that'll help our staff get onto the bigger projects while these young men fill in on the smaller projects that they're doing. That's about it.
Councilman Strange.
Okay, let's see here. I'll start with, there we go, here it is, emergency services. I've managed to figure out exactly who it is I need to get in touch with, and we've had a transition from Highbridge to South Branch and for EMS, and so I've got a report for in January through May, out of a grand total of 2,000 calls that the EMS squad did. That was to the end of May, I guess. 130 of those were specifically to Highbridge. 34 of them in May alone. I don't know if those tend to increase in the summer or decrease. So I don't know if we're on the way up or down for that. We'll have to keep an eye on the numbers. The average response time for 2022 so far is 7 minutes and 34 seconds. It says prior to January it was 8:46. So I don't know if that's the end of the year or average before that. So those are the stats on EMS at the moment. I'm not going to do the overtime there. For the police department, a total of 861 calls in May, 79 motor vehicle stops. We had 3 thefts, 7 crashes, and a number of other reports, and only 1 assault, thankfully. 2 criminal mischief. 0 arrests, adult or juvenile. We've had some trainings for rifle and alcotest operators. And kind of an interesting thing, we're preparing to deploy new body-worn cameras. Now, we've had these since 2016. Well, we've had body-worn cameras since 2016, older models, and we're now upgrading and replacing them with newer and better body-worn cameras. Hopefully be fully transitioned by the end of June, and then we'd submit for the remaining grant funding to cover that, about $18,000 total from the State Attorney General's office. There's also available from the police department a Ring neighborhood app flyer to allow you to sign up, and I believe that links the various Ring camera information together. Is that correct? So that the chief, the Ring app, so that the information that's being taken in by the cameras can be shared.
Ring neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we're part of the Ring neighborhood now, so you don't need to have Ring cameras to be part of it. You can sign up for that. They will push out public safety messages, as well as if we have anything going on, we can put out a request to the neighborhood, and you can upload any videos or photographs you may have directly to the system. So it's a simple scan of the QR code. You can sign up for that, and you don't even need to have the actual cameras to be part of that.
And it shares it with and helps everybody. It's a few people have. So. Okay. Very good. Now there was specifically for police, there was a letter we just got. I think it was here on the agenda in communications from people on East Main regarding speeding on East Main. And the concern being that a lot of people are going too fast down East Main. The chief very quickly sent me monitoring results from the last 3 months. And I have to say, this is quite frankly in keeping with what we have found other times. Is I think that we tend to perceive as people the thing that is anomalous as being more common than it is. 50% of the cars that go down East Main go below 25 miles an hour. 85% are below 28 miles an hour. Now, of those last 15%, now I asked a question of the chief, and he sent me more spreadsheets, and I really had a little trouble decoding them exactly. So I don't know the exact percentage that are over 30 miles an hour, over 40 miles an hour, over 50 miles an hour. I would surmise, based on the statistics I've seen in the past, that that is a drastically decreasing number as you go up, so that the number of people going 50 miles an hour is most likely less than 1%. Am I close, Chief?
The small windows in there, some of the readings inside of there will have, you know, a certain number, there might only be 4 total vehicles during a specific time, 2 of them, they've been assessed. So with that, you know, the ranges are, you know, the overall 85% high throughout the readings of the last 6 months have been 20 miles an hour. So 85% of all the vehicles that the machine monitored were 20 miles an hour or less.
We found that with Cripple Road too, when people remember.
Yeah, and I think what it is I know people are very concerned about people speeding, and as well they should be. I mean, it only takes one person going too fast to cause a problem, and I walk my dumb little dogs down that road. But I will say that it isn't a large number or a large majority. Now, the suggestion to put a speed bump in is, I guess, something we could look into. There are a lot of peripheral issues to having a speed bump in the middle of a road, however. One is plowing. Another one is that if people, if it's on a turn and people hit a speed bump, that can be dangerous as well, because it then knock them out of control. So there are peripheral issues that make it a little, not as simple maybe as it seems at first. But it's certainly something that we could, I guess, if it looks like it's warranted, look into and I guess speak to the engineers or something. But I will say that the chief at least has been monitoring this and is going to keep tabs on it.
We've had that monitor up around towards the curve, just prior to the curve on East Main, going out towards Annandale. We've had that up there for quite a while now, probably well over a year. Prior to that, you can still see poles out further down in the area. October last year, we did put some patrols out into the area, and there was not a lot of activity. But actually, tonight after the meeting, we are going to be deploying our traffic counter in the area. Given the area where it is, the machines are not, the traffic monitors aren't really the best device to put there given the location. So we're hoping that we're going to be able to put out the traffic counter to get some additional readings, so we'll be able to report back after that. And that'll give us both directions as well, and also give us another vehicle count, which if you did want to further explore speed humps, you would also need to have a traffic study, which the device gives you a traffic count.
Okay, so that's good. So we're moving ahead, at least looking into it, and so for the people that sent the letter, hopefully they understand we can't just suddenly throw a hump on the ground. We've got to look into it. Okay, on to recreation, open space and recreation. So we have the High Bridge Adventure Race this Sunday. Everything is ready to go. The trails are walked and prepped, and the signs are ready, and we have one more person than competed last time, so it is not looking like an enormous crowd, but we are going to go for it. There was, and that'll be starting up at the field and ending at Union Forge Park. The Nassau Trailheads, top of the field in here, a small group of people went and did some raking and neatening up there, picked up garbage, etc. Yesterday evening, a little bit of work on the trails. The flow trails and pump track had been closed for a short period of time for some maintenance as well. I believe that was 2 weeks ago. I think that's correct. As I was looking at the flow trails and pump track information, I actually found that we have, I did it just so it would get claimed, but Google Maps allows you to claim a location. I grabbed it so that it would be for the town, and in May, we had 185 people look at, was it a High Bridge pump track, whatever, on the internet, and mostly via their phone. And I think it was something like 80 of them were looking for directions to get there. We've had 680 something since beginning of January, 88 so far in June. So it definitely is something that people are looking at and trying to find directions to. So it's good that we're, I guess, doing some maintenance on it. The Recreation Committee also provided feedback on the maintenance plan for the Springside property, the originally called the WETTE, W-E-T-T-E lands property. And there's been an ongoing maintenance plan being put together, and so they provided their feedback. I believe we're getting close to finalizing that. And for recreation, I think that's about it. On to events, we have the upcoming July 2nd, the Sweet Fanny Adams concert at the Commons. I honestly don't think I've ever heard them play, but I've heard they're very good. That will be on the July 2nd. We have supposed to have a concert on July 9th, but my understanding is just recently the band has canceled on us. And so I'm not sure if we'll be seeking a new band or we'll be, I think their singer is sick or something, I don't know. But I'm not sure how exactly we're gonna deal with that. But at the moment, there seems to be some question about the 9th of July. On a more kind of a safety-oriented note, there is some question as to the whether or not we should use the stage. And so it may be that we will be, for the moment, having concerts and other things on the ground, on a ground-based stage, either a temporary rental or just a flat, a built stage of plywood or something to give a flat surface on the ground. The stage, which was, I believe, donated and probably built by volunteers, I think in the mid-'80s or something, or early '90s, seems like it may have come toward the end of its life. And so we're looking into that as to whether that needs to be, put up caution tape or whatever. But at the moment, it looks like as Plan B, concerts will be happening on a lower surface. So they'll still go on. The show must go on, as they say. And I think that was, I don't think there was any other specific short-term events stuff to report, really. There's other upcoming movies and concerts throughout the summer, but nothing immediate. So, okay. There you go.
Okay, on environmental, this Saturday, document shredding at Union Forge Park from 9 a.m. to noon. So if you have anything you want to watch, go into the truck and be shredded, bring it on down. I know a PSA went out for bear awareness, but we just wanted to remind you also that if you see a bear, remain calm, do not run, do not play dead. If you're with somebody else, join together and put your hands at to make yourself look larger item and just slowly back away. Because they're around all the time. I think that probably everyone has seen one or two of them. I've seen 3 in the last week, so I know they're around. So just be safe and don't run away from them. Also, we also wanted you to contact the police, I believe, and just say if you did see one in the neighborhood, to let them know, and not to call 911, right? To call 6500.
That's fine.
Yes, you don't want them calling 911 for a bear, unless it's eating someone, I guess. Weeding, we have tons of gardens around town, and weeds grow so quickly for our volunteers to stay on top of it. So if you happen to be walking along the commons or somewhere and you see a weed, feel free to pull that weed and help us out. Especially in the border between the edge of the Commons Park and the parking lot behind there, because we put a lot of mulch in there. We spent a lot of time 2 years ago cleaning that out, but they just come back faster than we can be on top of it. So anyone who can help, that would be great. And thank you to the Girl Scout troop that continues to work on the gazebo in the Commons, which is really nice because the troop that had done it for the last 2 years passed it on to the next upcoming one when they age out the next ones. And that's what we're hoping people will do for us. If a scout troop adopts an area, to just not adopt it for your troop, but to pass it to the next ones coming up so it continues for us. So thank you to those girls. It was Kelly Baker's scout troop. So thank you. We also, Environmental Commission certified our town again for a wildlife community. So our new signs will be up and around for that, and we have to do certain actions to show that we want to inform citizens about the wildlife and to just talk about ways of being good stewards of the wildlife that we have. Speaking of wildlife, Woodland Wildlife, which is a place very near to us, is having their fundraiser, and that's on Sunday. Food truck and music festival at Clinton F. Lodge in Pittstown, and it's a really great organization that helps the wildlife in the area. So head over there if you can for that. Check here. So borough trees, we have a lot of people calling Borough Hall with dead or dying trees that they say are on borough property. So first step for us is to get a list and then try to confirm whether they really are on borough property, and then whether they are gonna cause a threat to anyone and be a danger to anyone, or they're just a tree in the woods that's just gonna fall and it's not gonna cost us $3,000 to go cut it down. So we talked about, we have like 16 on a list that we just got over the past few weeks. And we had a meeting this week with Steve, myself, Bonnie, zoning officer, the mayor, and we decided we need a forester to come in and help us because none of us feel really capable of making tough decisions about which trees to spend a lot of money on to cut down. So we have a possible forester who we can work with, but he also suggested there's some grants out there we can get, and then he can lower his price by working through the grants. So we're still figuring out things. So if you call Borough Hall, we've got your list, we know, and we're in the process of getting those trees checked out and then deciding on a plan, because there's just so many of them that we can't afford. We're gonna have to put more money in the budget for the next few years for all these trees that are just dead and dying, so that is a concern for us. And that's it.
And I'm gonna pick up where Lynn left off, because I did hear more from the forester today, and he's actually going to be going out this weekend to start looking at the trees we have on the list to make that determination for us. He also gave me some more information about the grants that are available, and I'm going to be looking into that. I think, once we put a study together, we could possibly get the study paid for, and then we would be eligible for up to 75% on some tree removal in the future, so.
And that would also give us sustainable Jersey points by
Absolutely.
doing that.
Absolutely, all tied together. So besides that, we've been looking at conducting some DPW interviews, still trying to find a replacement for our DPW director. We are looking at filling some other positions and increasing the size of the department back to normal. The Bunville Well project that Councilman Silvestri mentioned being awarded at this meeting was something we've been working on for a while now. Since we've awarded it, now we can move on to finalizing the closing documents for the financing through the NJIB, and also financing for the HVAC equipment that's on order now for the police department, and we're finalizing those documents for the 0% financing on that, so that's it.
I didn't hear anybody mention it, but we had a very successful soapbox derby that led right into the Fireman's Music Fest, second annual Fireman's Music Fest, and it was an awesome, amazing community day. So hopefully it's a tradition that we keep. Soapbox, we definitely will keep going. Thanks to all the volunteers there. I participated in another 7822 Coalition of Mayors, which is the mayors along the 7822 corridor, and the county, Hunterdon County Economic Development, is starting a home-based business initiative to attract more home-based business to the county. We already have a lot. What's interesting is they said, check out on Google Maps and you'll see all the home-based businesses in Highbridge. It's pretty cool, a lot of names I never even heard of before. But this is a way we're looking to, put some ordinances together that will encourage people to let us know they're out there, and that the county can help promote these home-based businesses. So we're gonna be discussing the draft of that report at our next Economic Development Committee meeting. Trees, we had that big trees meeting, that was important. I had a meeting with Superintendent Hobaugh, Dr. Hobaugh, and Chief Bartman, just briefly to discuss school safety, because I think a lot of parents, even non-parents, are asking about the safety of our kids at school. And I will say, I left that meeting feel very comfortable that our children are safe, so that was a good thing. I think at the last council meeting, we passed a resolution in support of the energy tax receipts. There's over 200 mayors around the state. We're really trying to make a push to get this passed. Finally, it's been on the docket, I think, for a long time. It has tremendous bipartisan support. It would mean about $4.5 million returned to Highbridge over the next 20 years. So we're right there. Like I said, everyone from either side of the aisle is really trying to fight to get this done, and hopefully Governor Murphy can get it done for us. I don't know. He apparently is the one that is giving us pushback, but we'll see. We are Monday going to swear in Officer Jessica Gutsick, our very first female officer in Highbridge, which that will take place Monday morning. We're gonna do that at Borough Hall, correct, I believe?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
Planned for next month, coming in.
And we'll have more of a celebratory event here at council. We did have our finance committee meeting on June 6th that I didn't get the opportunity to discuss myself, but we met with Joe Monzo, who is a municipal finance consultant and CFO. He's taught financial management at Rutgers. He's a certified municipal financial officer since 1989. This obviously is talk about benefits in Highbridge, okay? We also had at that meeting Eric Zimmerman, who is a manager at Supley, who's our auditors. He's a CPA, he's a retirement management advisor and certified municipal finance officer. He has 2 of those designations, not that easy to get. And we reviewed their analysis, and we asked some questions that were asked of us. And some of the real big points that came out of this meeting is that there are lots of municipalities that offer these types of benefits. They've been around since the 2011 Pension Reform Act. You know, benefits are benefits, right? Any successful company wants to have the best employees. Highbridge is a very successful community, and we put a lot of pressure on employees. Our, roads need to be fixed, our committees want projects done, our trees need to come down. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that happens. And we can't necessarily pay them a lot of money, so a benefit is a nice way to say, hey, stick around and you'll get this at the end of the road. There is a cost, so you don't know what that cost is until someone retires. So when someone retires, you see what that cost is. You have that small tax point cost, but you get that salary back. That person that retires at, say, $100-something thousand a year, that money comes back into the borough and spread around to employees that, maybe will step into that role or not. We lost our director of DPW recently. We haven't filled that position yet. So technically, we're saving a little bit of money on salaries right now. Now, that's not a long-term plan because we do want to replace that position eventually, but if we have a little carrot saying, hey, we have this nice benefit, come work in Highbridge, we'll make it worth your while. So that, and these professionals also reiterated those points. And they work with municipalities all over the state of New Jersey. And we as a finance committee felt that was a pretty good deal for Highbridge and the community. And we're the ones that benefit from that as well. So, that's it. I lost my place. Approval of the bill list.
Legal issue.
Legal issues.
I just wanted to report that today I was working on the, a letter to the auditors about lawsuits that are pending that might impact the borough and its finances. I found it very interesting that the only reportable matter was a workers' compensation case, which really is not going to impact the borough's finances in any way, shape, or form, but you still have to report it, and it's being defended by your insurance carrier. That was the only case. I thought that, the fact that there's no litigation is really a very positive thing. I can tell you the only other things that are pending are 2 appeals of OPRA denials that are pending before the Government Records Council. And it's been pending for a little while, but that's it in terms of litigation, if you will. So I thought that was a really positive thing for the borough, and I wanted to make sure I updated everybody.
We have $754,589.91.
Motion to approve the bills.
Move.
Second.
Sorry, roll call.
Graham.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Silvestri. Yes. Strain.
Yes.
And Terry.
Yes.
On to the second round of public comments, 1 minute per person.
Sally Ward from Solitude Village. What Barry just said is something that makes me so happy that, it's funny, we've had so much smooth rolling via no legal issues that it's almost hard to forget, or easy to forget, what it used to be like. And our mayor was able to work very quickly, in my opinion, with Clinton's mayor to smooth over all of that rankly stuff that was going on for so long about the sewage stuff. And I'm just so proud of her and thankful to her for that, and for the peacefulness that we have been able to have around legal issues, or the lack thereof. So thank you for bringing that up, Barry. I had not even thought about that in such a long time. I got so used to the smooth rolling on that area. So thank you, both, all of you.
For months, I was up before, in the Loving Hill Crest Lane. I just want to bring to your attention the course at the golf course. Condition is 20 years old, so it's failing. It's failing all over the place. The sand trap project is estimated at close to $380,000. The clubhouse is old and worn, just like me. We need to put money back into this thing. And I would ask the council, how do we proceed with revisiting the barn issue that was voted down in November? It was approved by the planning board. So how do we proceed through this now? That's all.
Okay, executive session, motion to move into executive session.
Move.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, who was gonna move?
Alan?
And I second.
Roll call.
Graham? Hughes?
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Silvestri? Yes. Strange?
Yes.
And Barry.
Yes.
Legal issue?